If you're new here, welcome to my home renovation series where I take a 100-year-old historic building in one of the most preserved neighborhoods in America and turn it to my own. I recently bought this duplex as an investment property in a historic neighborhood. My goal is to keep all of the charm and character, but also turn it into a beautiful modern living space. I think this might be my most favorite room in the entire duplex, but getting here was not easy. Today is a huge milestone because we are finally installing the kitchen. The cabinets are going in, the countertops are being picked out, and we're going to be laying down new flooring. This is the moment when the house is finally starting to look like a home instead of a construction zone. I have your niece here with me today and we have a lot of work to do. So naturally, we decided to go to one of the cutest coffee shops in the neighborhood. I got me some much needed iced coffee, but don't worry, I didn't give your niece coffee. She got chocolate milk. This coffee shop is literally steps away from our duplex. We also have the book loft right next door, which is famous within the United States for being one of the most preserved and reputable bookstores throughout the nation. So most times when we come to work, we just sit out here and people watch. It's so pretty out here, but we have to get to work. We have a lot going on today. First thing first, we're making our way to Floor and Decor to pick out the floors for the kitchen.
334.
334. So that's not enough?
I don't know.
You don't think so? Let's see. Oh, there he comes now.
I got that paper out the car. Let me know when you grab it real quick.
Okay. All right, family, we got our floors. I've worked with this brand before and I really like them. So I decided to go with them. And thankfully, we had just enough for the kitchen in unit number 1 and unit number 2, which I haven't showed you guys yet, but we'll be getting to that soon. So I had the guys load it up so we can take it up to the counter and pay for it. I have my favorite little helper here today. And as I told you guys, I'm taking Nadia along with me on this new journey because she is old enough now to understand what I'm doing. So I'm teaching her the ropes of being a real estate investor and a girl boss. So our floors are all paid for and the guys are going to load it and take it to the unit. I'm super excited to see what this floor looks like. I'm kind of nervous ripping out the old one though. I'm not even going to lie. Do a corner or something.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take that quarter round off, so I'm going to straighten it.
Okay, that's it. We cannot go back. The floors have been destroyed and they are being demolished, so we cannot go back. But this was exciting to see as well because although the floors are in great shape, they're also dated and the point is to update the place.
This way.
No.
Yeah. So if you run it this way, it makes the room look wider this way. If you run it the other way, it makes it look longer.
Yeah, and like you said, it breaks it up.
Yeah.
What we need to change that piece.
Yeah, I'm going to take all the quarter round off. And then...
No, I'm talking about this.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that one off. So
the contractor is showing me what the floors are going to look like and what the transition is going to look like. However, I think the transition is a little too light because the kitchen floors are going to kind of match the actual living room floor as you see there. And I think the jump is jumping. I need it to blend in a little more. So that is something I have to think about a little more as far as the transition piece. But the floors in the kitchen are going to be so beautiful. As I said, I've used this brand before and I really like it. Okay, family, the tiles are gone. This is what the floors look like. And you're going to be surprised when you see what's under here. Yeah, boy. The tile is gone. Oh my goodness, it looks so different in here. It's got the rubbles to the corner here. So we actually discovered that there was hardwood underneath the tile. They had 3 layers. So the hardwood, concrete, and then tile. I don't know why they did that. That's why the transition was so high. We also discovered that there were a lot of holes that needed to be repaired. So I am so glad we took the tiles out so we can fix what's wrong before we go over top of it with the new flooring. So what the contractor ended up doing was he leveled the floors with some planks. I forget what they're called, just to make sure that everything is even, leveled, and safe before going over top of it with the new flooring. And this is what it ended up looking like. So for the molding, I decided to take out the old ones and throw those away and bring something a little higher. So if you guys remember, the molding around the floors, they were a little shorter, but I decided to not only add that piece of molding in his hand, but to also add quarter rounds just to give it a more elevated look. A lot of you probably don't understand what I'm saying. I didn't used to understand what I'm saying either, but I've done this enough now to where I actually know what I'm saying, and that's kind of exciting. These are details about renovations and homes that a lot of us don't pay attention to unless you're part of this kind of process. But yeah, all of the moldings are gonna look like this, and I really like that look. So he had a few options that he wanted to show me. One was much taller and the other one was a little shorter. I decided to go with the shorter one because I didn't want to take away from the wall design. So that bigger piece I didn't go with. I went with the smaller piece, and you're going to see that in the end here. It's going to look really nice. And we also have to paint it. All right, y'all, it's a construction zone in here, so be careful. Make sure you have your hard hat and your shoes on. But I wanted to show you guys something. Look at the kitchen floors. Yes. We have brand new kitchen floors, y'all. Brand new. Look at this. Ow. Look at this. Look how pretty this is. He still has some fixing to do. He still has to paint the baseboards. But look at this. And we still have our kitchen, of course, our beautiful kitchen, but all of that is about to be gone to match our brand new flooring. We haven't started on the sanding over there. My goal is to kind of match it a little bit, but I think he did an amazing job in here. Look at this. How beautiful. How pretty. Yes, I'm impressed. All right, so as you guys may remember, if you watched the previous videos, I had the kitchen cabinets taken out, the top and bottom cabinets taken out, and I also had the backsplash taken out, as you can see here. So the floors were actually done before this demolition was done. The reason for that is there was some schedule conflict, and so we couldn't get the demolition done before the flooring. So we had to do the flooring first, which usually you want to do the flooring last. But anyway, that was done. I was excited about that. And I went on to choose my cabinets. Again, if you watched the last video, I showed you guys this warehouse of different options, different sizes, and different colors. I decided to go with the white options because it's not only modern, but it just looks good and it makes the space look so much bigger and brighter, especially for a kitchen that is not small, but also narrow. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, these are the cabinets I decided to go with. So the cabinets have been delivered. They're in the house and they're ready to be installed. And you'll see that I have all of the other appliances as well. So this is what the kitchen looks like with the new flooring, but without the cabinets and appliances being installed. We are going to make a few more changes before the cabinets can be installed. So the contractor is here and he's doing his measurements. I don't know if you guys remembered, but my original plan was to reface the cabinets, which means the goal was to just add new doors, new hinges, and new handles to save some money. However, the quote was so ridiculously high that I decided to just go with new cabinets, and that was much cheaper to do, even with the demolition and reinstall. So my contractor is here. As I said, he's doing all of the measurements to make sure we have all the right cabinets. He's marking all of the spots, and he's also going to have to cut into some of the original structure, which I'll show you guys that later. But the first cabinet is out of the box, and he's just checking it to make sure everything is fine and that we got the right pieces. So with that, this takes a lot of precision. So he just has his fancy measuring tools and he's measuring everything to make sure that everything looks good before he installs everything. So I'm really, really grateful for his expertise. Wow, okay. Wow. Okay, the bottom cabinets are in. The sink, oh, we got all the line and stuff. So the sink is gonna go here. They got all the wiring done, the water line, all the, the ugly part. This is the cabinet. It looks a little dusty, but it still has to be peeled off. So, but they're doing a lot of work in here, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But yeah, it's coming together. So basically, the dishwasher is gonna go here. And then this is gonna be counter space. A little bit of this is gonna be counter space. And then the stove goes here. And then this is counter space. And then for the top, as you can see, they already started. It's gonna go, like the cabinets, these are 36-inch cabinets. So they're gonna be pretty tall. And then they're gonna put crown molding on the top. So it's gonna go like this. So this one is short. This one is definitely shorter because, remember, imagine the countertop, the sink, and then the faucet. So you don't want it to be too short because you're going to be, bumping your head. So that's why that one is, I think that's the shortest cabinet out of all of them. But just imagine this, the counters are going to go, not the counter, I keep saying counter, the cabinets, they're going to go all the way across and make their way. So we're going to have cabinets all here. I know it looks ugly and it looks messy right now, but I promise you it's gonna look really, really nice. And then we're gonna do a backsplash, we're gonna do the handles, we're gonna paint the whole thing and then clean it up. And as you guys know, the floors are already done, but we covered them with these cardboards and tape. I actually did this myself. I covered the floor with myself because I wanted to protect the new floors. But yeah, it's gonna look like night and day. And I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna show you guys the expo picture again. Come back to see the new one. So you guys, it's a dark, gloomy day, but we're still out here hustling. I'm actually on my way to pick out my slab for my countertop. I'm getting a deal on this countertop, so I had to come to their little warehouse thingy. Hopefully we can find something I like. If you look closely, you can see some of the pieces there. Those are the countertops. And I just go in, pick the ones I want. They also offer fabrication and insulation. You said black?
You want black or white?
No, white.
White?
Yes. Quartz, white quartz.
White
It's possible.
quartz.
Yeah.
Now one of the guys coming this morning.
Okay.
This color is really nice for rental.
Okay.
And also it's really looking really nice.
Okay.
And they're not quite expensive.
Okay.
It's premium quartz. I
Okay.
don't know if you like white with the speckle.
No.
You don't
Not
like?
my favorite.
Huh?
Not my favorite. No, I
Yeah.
like the plain.
You want like a white?
Like
plain
this. Like this. Something like that. With the veining.
white with the vein?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I have.
Oh, even that. The top.
Let me choose.
And I don't have a lot of counter space.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because
You're not gonna do backsplash, don't you?
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
How about this piece?
this piece. Let me see. Ooh, I don't like the brown.
You don't like browns?
If that's my last resort, then maybe, but I don't like the brown in it. I like more of the gray.
More big gray stuff?
Yeah. So we got our countertop. Yeah. I'm really, really excited to see how this is going to turn out. But yeah, we got our countertop. I picked out the one I want, which is white, of course. But you guys, you have to see the veining. It's so, so pretty. And it's quartz. It's going to set the whole place off. And I just cannot wait to show you all. So here's the thing about getting the countertop at a place like this. They call them scrap pieces. So these are big companies. These guys work for really, really big countertop companies. And so when they go and do like the $1 million homes and commercial buildings, they have pieces left over from the great quality stuff. They have some basic quality and some trash stuff, but they also have the expensive stuff, but it's pieces that didn't fit, so they bring them over here and they sell them. So for a kitchen like mine that is not humongous, I can use one of their pieces. And like I said, I've worked with them for maybe 4 properties now, so I know their work and I know their quality. If you followed me for the childhood home and the Airbnb, those are the guys I worked with. So what they'll do is they'll come out, measure your kitchen, and they'll tell you what piece you need. Sometimes you actually might have to buy a whole slab of countertop, or like in this case, since the kitchen is smaller, it's not necessarily smaller, but the counter space is quite small because we're only going from wall to wall, and we also have to have space for the sink and also space for the refrigerator. So when you take all of that out, you only have a small space of counter left, which is fine for that specific kitchen. So I didn't have to buy a whole slab, but I'm gonna end up with a great quality quartz piece that's gonna elevate the kitchen without having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. Because let's say I go to a regular counter store, that piece that I just picked out might be around $5,000 to $6,000, even if I only need a little piece, because they have to cut it up and then do whatever they do with the other piece. Whereas if you have connections with a guy like this, you can get amazing quality but on a budget. And you guys know that I always am looking for some kind of deal, and we just got one of the best. I love the piece that I picked out, and I'm very, very satisfied. And yeah, I can't wait to show you guys. Y'all, this is what it looks like when you're renovating a property and buying a lot of the things yourself. So this is on a daily basis what my front door looks like, and there's more. There are these, you got more in here, more in the back, and there's more in the main house. We're not even gonna go into that. Okay, y'all, so I'm opening up these boxes to make sure I got what I ordered. This is my sink. It has all the parts in there. I have to actually deliver the sink to the counter people so they can fabricate it into the counter piece. I'm about to load it in there. Hopefully it fits. That's some landscaping stuff. Hopefully it fits. And then I have the rest of this stuff here. This is the mirror for the upstairs bathroom. And then this is the microwave. And then you have some cabinet handles and other things in here that I will be delivering to the house. So I'm gonna go ahead and load these. All right, family, so I have so many things to deliver. Mind you, everything I order comes in 2 because remember, we're doing a duplex. Right now, we're only doing one side, so I'm only showing you the one side of things, but we are doing 2 different homes or houses, right? But just one building. For those of you guys who don't know what a duplex is, again, it's essentially one house divided into 2, but made into 2 separate houses. So one side cannot have access to the other side, and the other side is private from the other side. So everything I order has to be 2. So I'm ordering 2 microwaves, 2 sinks, 2 faucets, 2 door numbers, 2, just everything is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, okay? These are door numbers that I I ordered for the units. The original ones are really small and they're outdated. So I decided to order brand new ones, bigger ones for the duplex. And so when the stuff comes in, I have to go through and take out the things that I need for now for the current duplex and keep the ones that I don't need until we start with the other duplex. So now that I have separated everything, I'm doing my best to load it in the small car, my Honda, just to make sure that I get it there in time so that the contractors have what they need. And as you guys see, I'm fighting here. Bay is not around. He's at work. So I have to do this on my own because the contractors are actually at the duplex waiting for me. So I don't have time to wait. Okay. So that is why you see me fighting here, but I was able to get it in like a pro and I am so excited. So please do come back to see the finished product of the kitchen and don't forget to subscribe and comment your favorite part of today's video. Thank you all again so much for watching. I love you all and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.